Have you guys ever wanted to be the gun guy Marvel superhero that is John Wick?
I already am. What are you talking about?
Yeah, of course, of course. It'll be interesting to see how your USPSA prowess stacks up against John Wick tactical training here. Now,
my gosh.
the stream has already been nuked once. So if YouTube nukes this second part as well, because I was surprised because it had never nuked us for something that was like an hour and a half into the stream, and it did it
That was
there.
nuts.
So, yeah, rough, but we'll keep it rolling.
All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are at the Goon Fighter class day 1 in Phoenix.
Oh, of course.
It just lines up. It always does. It just does. It never stops. I am convinced that we live in not only the best timeline, but the funniest timeline.
Good point there.
Yeah, it just lines up. Listen, at the Goon Fighter, we're teaching John Wick Bullshido Vehicle CQB. Okay. All right.
We're at Ben Avery. Basically, just going to be working some 360-degree close quarter defense techniques. Pretty much just trying to get better overall, but we've got all our targets out there. They all have cardboard targets behind them, so we'll see how they look after the class. It's 2 days live fire, so after the second day, we'll take a closer look at the targets and see how they hold up. My gas station sunglasses.
Okay, so this is like a meme video to showcase their product, I guess, right? Because they're going to show like, look, the cardboard is destroyed. So that means you have to spend 300 times more money on one of our whatever targets is versus spending 80 cents on a USPSA style target.
Glasses. I got them at QT this morning.
Yeah, it's as serious as phone booth fighting, car jitsu, which is a real thing, car boxing, and there's all sorts of fun ones. They had one at one of the karate events, combat something or other, where they had a fake gun in the middle, and then it was a fight to try and get the gun from another person, right? And that's how you win the match, basically, is getting control of the gun. So there's all sorts of like really niche things that are entertainment. It is purely entertainment. That is the point of it. It is spectacle. It is not like real training or like a real combat sport, right? It is for entertainment purposes only.
Speaking of
this is for the people who like maybe shoot 1,000 rounds a year, if that, and this is serious training. Oh my gosh, I better get this stuff because I'm gonna need to
this
use
is the thing that
whatever.
I think that this type of thing can make you feel really good about yourself because you're shooting really quick and it looks cool and you're hitting the target, but you're only 3 feet away. So the standards are so low that this is almost like a confidence booster, like training wheels for children, but it's also teaching them to pedal with their hands. And they're like, look, sometimes you might not have access to your feet, so you need to pedal with your hands. And if you go slow enough, you won't notice a difference. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you're that close away. If you aren't hitting anything, if you're hitting nothing but alphas, like if you aren't hitting alphas, something is very, very wrong.
Yeah, and if anybody ever wants some good car fighting content, Sam Hyde put out Rhode Island car fighting like a month ago. That's a good watch.
There you go.
Sometimes something happens, he's going to the can and he's fixing the red dot battery snipe. So not only are we in a unique position, just that we're a little bit closer and that we're kind of thinking things through. But remember, I don't want you to like think things through as much. I just want you to get some good exposure to it so you can noodle it later. We already know the application of the environment we're in. That's the only reason why we're doing a little bit of staticness now, which is excellent. You need to use, and thank you for the targets, by the way. You need to use excellent targets like that. You need to use this and get a
You need to use these targets in order to be good, you see.
So what I'd like
Give
to do
me
is
money.
I'm just going to demonstrate
He gets paid $50 every time he says that.
The combat position. So I'll be like weapon side.
I do like that they always have their own like niche little terminology. Like it's like CQB footwork artists are going to have their own thing. You got the combat position, which I don't know about you, but if I'm holding my firearm like this in front of my face, like I don't know if I'd call that the combat position. That's like the granny position.
Get slide right on your nose.
Right in front of your face. It's the granny.
Don't shoot me.
And then, we're going to get some people out and you're going to do an exposure of that. So I'm not going to walk by and go do like this. I'm going to say, give this a try. How was it? better or worse, worse, try it this way, no, better or worse, better, try it this way, no, better, or you get the idea, because you have to figure.
See, that sounds like you're sampling ice cream, not teaching people how to actually shoot. I don't know. Try this. Maybe you'll like it more. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's too silly.
But I'm going to guide you towards it. That's my job as a guide. All right. So what we're going to look to do is we're going to have. Do you mind being my super friend here? So come up here.
Not just a friend.
This will be me. This will be you next time. So come on over here. But they're going to say aim the gun. So you're going to aim the gun. And if the gun is in my right hand, I'm going to try to aim with my which eye?
Your right eye.
Right hand, left eye, left hand, right eye. So whatever your weapon side is, for a couple of you, that's your left side. So you're simply around the other side of the gun, right? And so all I want you to do, really, I would rather this take place off paper or off target, because now as soon as we start shooting at something, everybody starts to worry about where the bullets are going in that. When I'm doing an academy, and
wait. Everybody starts worrying about where the bullets are going.
That's the one thing you got to worry about. That's the thing.
That's it. Yep. I'd like to read this out. Okay, where's the transcript?
Everyone starts worrying about where the bullets are going.
All right. Oh my gosh. As soon as we start shooting at something, everybody starts to worry about where the bullets are going.
What? Why would you care about where the bullets go?
Wait, can we? All I want you to do is rather have this take place off paper or off target. What? I gotta back up. I don't. What did this guy say?
Oh, how profoundly retarded this is.
Right? And so all I want you to do, really, I would rather this take place off paper or off target, because now as soon as we start shooting at something, everybody starts to worry about where the bullets are going in that. When I'm doing an academy and we have gone through lots of repetitions of gunfighting, the first.
So if I were to steelman his position, like maybe this might make sense if, for instance, let's say I hand you a gun and it's not zeroed. So I tell you, don't worry about like where the group is located on the target. Just focus on, that spot and make sure that your group is concentric to where you're looking, right? But it's not going to be, it's not going to be perfectly zeroed. Maybe that's an argument, but being completely
that's not what he's talking about.
No, so. being completely disconnected from where the bullets are going is one of the tenets of gun safety. Like, be aware of your target's foreground and background, right? Interesting.
It's one of the four rules.
Don't get held up on the details. Details, baby, details.
First time they shoot live rounds, which is like a third, if not further, through the academy, there is no target whatsoever. Second time they shoot, it's just watch that front sight come back down again. The first time is just feeling the recoil, because there's a little more on a 9 than there has been on an airsoft or an NLTA pistol or whatever. Third time, maybe we start with a target, that kind of thing, right?
Profoundly retarded.
Did he say watching the front sight?
Yes. Well, yeah. Watch the front sight come down.
Why? You're 2 feet away from the target.
Yeah.
Second time they just watch the front sight come back down again. What? Feeling the like it's
talking about getting people who've never shot a gun before or something, which even then.
But okay, so the application for this is so high level niche that it doesn't actually exist. Like this is for people who are about to get into a CQB fight inside of a car. This is not low level technique. If somebody didn't know like how to shoot, they should. Why would somebody ever? This is the problem with a lot of these like CQB classes and whatnot, or any niche thing, is that people go who don't have a proper understanding of the fundamentals. So these other elements are just nonsense, right? They can't do the thing that they're training for. They can't shoot the gun, which is the hard part. That's always the hard part, is the actual shooting performance. Like learning how to walk, pretty easy. Learning like how to walk into a room or probably a corner, pretty easy. Shooting the gun fast and accurate, very difficult. Very difficult. Practice the hard thing.
I know you're only 2 years old, but we're going to teach you how to run first. Screw crawling. We're going straight to running, son.
Yep. Focus. Your issue is you're coming at this with a frame of logic, and you're trying to.
Well, it's like somebody doesn't know how to drive a car. It's like, all right, cool. Anyways, F1 next weekend, buddy.
F1. I was going to say,
or even worse. Even worse. Like we're doing downhill drifting. Okay. very niche, but you got to know how to do this. And somebody was like, "What's a car?" I've never driven this thing before. It's like, brother, no. Well, the nice thing about downhill drifting is no matter how bad you do it, you always reach the bottom.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit odd that they had some women in the Tokyo Drift, especially Asian. Sorry.
Right? You're going to be able to shoot very easily, right? That you're just, where is tension coming from? Well, the gun floats, so we're all happy with that.
Be
We
like
can easily adjust positions and still get accurate fire, right?
The
There it
tension is coming from my sphincter.
How are you quantifying accurate fire, good sir? You are muzzling the target. It can tell
Missing
how
is
how
more
the
impressive.
taste. Yeah.
There it is. And you can feel free to go body and head. Just watch the cross beam on that. Okay, so guys in the front, you're number one. Number one, show me number ones.
Okay, now how much do you think that these guys actually take this serious, or are they like, guys, this is
The guy with
I
long
hope
hair
and
was
pray
laughing at it.
they don't take a single lick of this seriously.
But as marketing, why would you use this guy as your marketing? Because you're obviously like you're supplying all the targets, you're doing all that. Like this is wacky to me. This is a weird inside joke if it is a joke.
Just
John
give
Wick gets the
Grantham another
clicks.
$30,000. God, what are they doing?
Yeah, I got 8,000 views. It's not bad.
And then number
Yeah, he was
2,
significantly
8,000?
cheaper.
Number one in a moment. Number one is
What's up,
gonna
brother?
aim the. All right, brother. And now we're So we'll talk more about this. I just want you to shoot it in a minute. Where, if I may, the lats versus the small on use small muscles, right, on everyone. Pardon me. So all I want you to do is aim the gun, and I'm gonna go. Hey, can you see the sight when I block that eye?
Yes.
Can you see the sight when I block that eye?
No.
Absolutely not. No. And so then you just feel it float. There's no don't worry about where it hits. All right.
Okay.
All right. So I'm happy when you guys are happy. This first group, this first string, on your own time. As many rounds as you like, a whole mag if you like, quick, slow, all that. Just get an exposure. We'll talk after. On your own time, fire. That gun floated there with better recoil control than on those slower rounds.
Right.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Feel
Then
free to
on
do
the
that. We'll
slower
talk about
round.
it when we're in a group.
Okay.
Back to you.
I feel like I'm gonna have an aneurysm with this guy.
The fact that he's using a ported Beretta or a comped Beretta with an MPS at 3 yards is painful. Not even 3 yards. This is 3 feet.
It's like a yard and a half
Yeah.
at most.
You could reach out and touch the target.
Yep.
They have to keep their arms bent.
But why are we doing
What
this
is that?
though?
Shooting blind for tactical.
Brother, what is that grip? See, I wish
They-
YouTube wasn't gay and I could just do that.
They have to
yeah.
keep the grip like that because if they extend
Well-
their arms all the way out, it would be muzzle contact.
Let's see if this will work. Let's see.
Can you see the sight? Can you not see the sight? Just like we did inside, right? Okay, yeah, I can. Okay, so now just have an exposure shooting a gun like that. But what you're gonna find very quickly, I'm sure of, is that you're actually starting to manage the felt recoil quite easily just due to your mass before we even dial it in. And so with yourself just being smaller of stature and nature, we're gonna have a little more of that. And then as that's happening, I want to come around as many times as possible with each position. so
General
that,
size has nothing to do with controlling the
I
recoil.
also
Oh my
want
God.
to come around in as many positions as possible. Yeah, what are we talking about
Ugh.
recoil control here?
Do not come.
Your weapon side, reaction side, the close quarter position, perhaps.
Wait. Sorry. Are these other terms that I'm not aware of? Weapon side, reaction side?
What does that even mean?
Forward,
The gun is in both hands, sir. I don't know what you mean. Do you
I think what he
react
means-
from the back, or is that the weapon side? Depending on
No,
No,
I think what it is.
Grantham reacts it from the back.
Ooh, no, I think what it is weapon side
There's
is
reaction
the
there,
student,
alright.
and then
Well, so
the,
yeah, is this meant
What's
to
your
be,
reaction when Grantham's coming from behind?
All right.
No. Oh, that's nasty.
Oh, no. Hmm. Yeah, but this seems like you're training to fight
Gosh.
multiple individuals from inside a phone booth. Like this is the technique for that.
Because I want to make sure that we touch base and that you know that I'm looking at you like thumbs up, so that you leave here doing it and we do it again tomorrow a lot more. So what have we proven? That you are slowing down and guessing where you need to be. You're getting in your own way of accuracy and speed.
No, you're getting in the way of his accuracy when you stick your fucking hand in front of
You
his
said
face.
don't worry where the
Nonsense.
bullets are going. You said don't worry where the bullets are going. What do you mean accuracy?
This hurt.
Assassinating Bilbo Baggins. Yeah.
This whole
Give
thing
me
is
back
getting
the
in the
ring,
way.
Bilbo.
Just grip the gun like a normal, sane person. Put it out there, shoulders relaxed, no tension on there, and shoot, not this insanity.
Well, listen, even if you had to take a compressed shot, like you would instantly get to a place where you would no longer be compressed shooting. Like even if we grant this theory that at some point you might have to take a compressed shot, like if me and you are like shoulder to shoulder, right? But
Yeah,
as
it would
soon
be
as
for like
there
a
is
shot or two, not
right,
the entire mag.
it would be
like,
as I
bang,
am
bang, bang,
creating
bang, bang.
distance. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
As I am creating distance, I would just assume a normal shooting position. Right. So in this fantasy scenario, you have like, is this a zombie scenario where you're trapped in a room and they only have melee weapons? So they're going to be like attacking at point blank range, right? Is this one man versus 100 gorillas? Like, what is this?
Well,
Okay? And by the time I get to where I want the bullet to go, I've already fired. Now I'm moving, now I'm doing a thing. Does that make sense? Perfect. Come in here and do that.
It does not make sense.
Oh.
Good. So when you finish, there you go. Now what are you gonna do? Think about it. Now you're starting to get a feel for how far we have to go.
Yeah.
You can see him like, this guy seems a little bit more of a newbie, but you can see him almost instinctively punch his arms out.
Out there, like a sane
For
person.
how far we have to go.
Yeah.
Also, he induced a malfunction there by limp wristing, which is also a problem by using this technique, if you want to call it that.
I've been watching the entire time where the plumes of dust have been kicking up on that back berm, and some of those are getting pretty close to
But
the.
try to use the side
the
to get,
top.
to get that ingrained so we know what it looks like.
All right.
If he's right-handed, come on this side. That way you can see his thumbs.
Okay.
If his thumbs aren't there right, you'll know.
Right.
Don't watch the target, just care about what he's doing with his hand.
Okay.
Elbow high. What did you do? Look at the thumb. There you go. So you got to get that.
So Cameron 1 says Bill Rapier, the Macy Seal, had a good system for how to shoot while in fist fighting distances. Check it out. It's only total 1 to 2 shots while creating distance. His methodology makes sense. Yeah, 100%. I don't know why somebody would pay a lot of money. Can you tell me the cost of these classes, sir? Because I would like to know, because you have a 5-day advanced or basic class, a 3-day and a 2-day course, and
That sounds miserable.
yeah, it is based around fighting inside of vehicles. So the 3-day instructor is $650, the 1-day is $450, the 5-day is only $850, which is cheap for 5-day. However, this is still separating people who don't have the fundamentals down from the money that could be used to get those fundamentals down.
For
Right.
what you're getting out of it, it's not cheap. It's just a waste of money.
Yeah, it's 100% a waste, and it's multiple days too, and it's bad habits and it's not useful habits. Like if, I don't know, maybe some police officer somewhere might benefit from learning how to shoot from retention from his vehicle. Like maybe that's a scenario that one could train for, but just the average, I mean, and I'm talking like just a little bit, like, I don't know how often this comes up where a police officer is sitting in his cruiser and has to shoot out of his window at point blank range like this. And yeah, this is their main instructor, Jeff Johnsgaard. And then they probably have a couple other guys, but it's a pretty expensive class. You're at least out $500 for something like this, and not including ammo, time, all that sort of stuff. But you could definitely use that way better.
as the basis of what we're going to do. So don't try to go fast, but we're trying to ingrain the feeling of what the recoil looks like against our thumb. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Try it.
What?
And this is somebody's vacation.
Well, right, but it's in that same realm of it just devolves into entertainment where you're a gun tourist, where you're doing something with guns that's fun for a weekend because you're a tech bro or because you own a construction company and you have some extra money floating around and you're like, I've seen movies. Can I learn how to shoot like that? Because John Wick shoots from attention like this. It's like, well, yeah,
If John
but it's
Wick
not
does
serious.
it must be good. Wow.
Again, it is. John Wick is just a superhero for guys that don't like superheroes.
But Terran Tactical.
Well, Terran Tactical actually does the shooting training, so his would actually be much more worth it. Now,
And he's
you can't-
legitimately a good shooter.
Oh,
Come here,
100%.
little lady.
I wasn't
But
gonna
then
say it.
there's that
But
part.
you can't get him for under $1,000. I don't
Well,
even know
some
if he
people
does
can.
public classes.
Well, we can't.
Pretty smooth. How'd it look?
Kind of same as last time. He was a little
Little, okay. It
not
looks
wrapped around all the
smooth.
way.
Don't think about speed. I want you to just think about technique for right now. I don't want you to use the fingers.
What technique is this again, sir, that I'm supposed to be thinking about?
Who is saying in the background, I don't
You're
want
not
you to use your
a
finger?
little low
Like
on
Oh, I
just-
thought he said, I don't want you to lose your fingers, which is what I've been worried about.
Oh,
I think it's just how you do it.
The sad thing is these instructors think
Almost
this
like
is
it's just punching
legit.
it. It's just naturally
Great.
doing it.
All of this, just let it bend down. Keep
Or I
your
suppose
eyes-
it's a possibility one of them knows this is a
Bring it up, and as soon as you
pile of crap and they're still schlepping it to people anyways.
they're high on their own
The
shit
line ready,
supply.
the line's ready, and all that range safety stuff. So draw your gun, right?
All that range safety stuff.
Yeah, so let's see. If there's like 7 or 8 targets up, that's over $1,000 worth of targets. Not to mention if there's 10 students, that's about $6,000 in students. I gotta start a training class, man, because if I could charge $600 a student, bro, even just 10 students a couple times a year, that's like 10, 15
There you go,
grand.
that's money.
Hey, I tried. I
For
told you
nothing?
this. I told you this before. I can get we can do it.
I know I would never do it, but I could. If I had no morals, I could make a lot more money. But that's always been the case.
Yeah, those pesky morals getting in the way.
Right, and then think about
the
now
gun.
the reaction side.
Brilliant.
No. Did he just call it the reaction side as he switched hands on the gun?
I think you did.
Line's ready, and all that range safety stuff. So draw your gun, right, and then move around it. Right,
He
and then
did.
think about now the
Brilliant.
reaction side.
Why no, he did the Steven Seagal thing where you switch hands.
Yeah.
Do you remember that where you would like switch hands to pie around a different corner or something like that? It's just retarded.
They sit there waddling
nonsense.
around.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Switching to your weak hand so you can point and shoot at 3 yards
Brilliant.
might be one of the dumbest decisions of your life.
Right?
And then
Where does
just
pressure come
aim out
from?
of
Fire
your
a few rounds.
non-dominant
Get
eye
used to
for
that.
no reason
What kind of
whatsoever.
placements have I got? And then more importantly, after a reload or after a stoppage, you'll notice that we have already
From your limp wristing, you might get a stoppage. Very important here. Bro, if you are reloading while using this 360-degree CQD shooting technique, bro, something is like, it's just
Something's
over,
very
bro.
wrong.
It's just over. I don't know what you're getting attacked by, but just, it's over, bro.
May God
wired
have
in
mercy on your soul.
doing something with the gun, which is completely fine. I just want you to now, when those things happen, or more importantly, what we were finding when you were doing that drill, was that when
Is the cameraman specifically hiding behind something and he's
I
just
would
peeking
be.
out
Yeah, get
every
away.
now and again?
It's a reasonable
but
response.
I don't know if that's just like for the shots that you have something in the foreground, but it kind of looks like he's hiding behind a pole.
he was switching,
That's the
then he
safest
was
place to
having
be.
to create that motor pattern, so to speak, but it's environmentally driven.
Bro, this is just retarded Travis Haley.
That's not saying much.
Yeah, tactical tactics.
Oh, the
Okay,
tick.
so reaction side stuff, combat position. Do a little bit, watch your partner and switch. If you want, go load up again or not. But
What's
both
he
people
saying?
get
Tactical cuckoldry or something. Watch your partner and switch. Try some different positions. Combat. What was the line of words? that you
Tactical
used there?
swingers.
Right, so reaction side stuff, combat position. Do a
Reaction side combat position. Okay. Those are words one could string together.
little bit. Watch your
Those,
partner
those are
inside.
words in the
If you
English
want, they'll
language.
Load up again or not, but
That doesn't mean
don't
anything
put up
strung together like that,
around
but
it.
those are
Just
words.
stand in the sun baking. Come back, think about it. Let's talk. Okay. But this is kind of on your own time now. The careful thing here is there's not a lot of good motor patterning on this side of the body. So watch out for safety.
I would say John's getting abducted by aliens right now. They're watching him. They're like, he's having a bad time. We're getting rid of this guy.
The great thing for us is it's way easier to train because there's no motor patterning there. So you'll get shit hot.
What?
Motor patterning. Yeah.
This is way easier to train because it's retarded.
Body. So watch out for safety. The great thing for us is it's way easier to train because there's no motor patterning there. So you'll get shit hot and awesome way
What?
faster. Especially if you happen to be
What?
using your dominant eye with your non-dominant hand.
Why not just, shoot normally with your dominant hand, dominant eye?
Yeah,
What a
that's-
crazy thought.
That felt better.
Skill shot.
Ready?
what not to do with the
What,
course.
sorry?
Cameraman deserves hazard pay, by the way.
Absolutely.
100%.
You're not getting enough.
Cameraman's gonna get
no.
Chris Kyle.
He was shooting that guy in the dick from like. Back up, come on, YouTube. Yeah.
He just said I got him in the ID.
I think I saw some around where they released like.
Hey guys,
the
thanks for
version where
tuning in.
it's-
We are closing out today, but we will be back tomorrow. So stay tuned for part 2.
There is, in fact, the part 2. Sorry.
Is there in fact comments on this though?
Yes.
We can take a look at it. Voda lives on. Very true. Yeah, I saw a lot of those. Credibility strengthened by the reload mechanics at 1028.
All right, what about now?
Okay, whatever that means. Looks cool, but I feel the technique falls apart beyond 15 yards. I believe you mean
Falls apart
1.5
beyond 15
yards.
feet.
1.5 yards. That's the par time here.
15
The par
inches.
distance here.
Just don't do this.
Yeah, here's a great one. Raz Group Training says center axis relock is not effective or superior to traditional shooting styles. There's a reason no tier 1 unit or world champion shooter uses this. Not a
Facts.
one. Not
Man,
worth
did
it.
my comment get deleted?
this
What the
guy's-
heck?
This guy's right.
Uh,
He does definitely sound Canadian.
Yeah, this is some Voda Consulting 2.0 shit. Yep. It made me feel like Batman. That's cool that it made you feel that way, bro, but probably not. I'm confused. Is this actual shooting techniques or parody? John Wick style. So yes, it is emulating a movie, which is great. It's an actual shooting technique developed by a former English armed policeman. English, all right. Paul Castle. He developed it as a CQB method from his years doing police raids. This method is definitely not without controversy. Hence, another commenter's
That's one way to
comparison
put it.
of this video to Voda Consulting. If Paul Castle hadn't passed away in 2011, he might have been able to get it more mainstream, so maybe it was timely passing.
Thank God it wasn't.
He did manage to teach numerous U.S. police agencies before he died, at least. Voda can't say that.
That's awful.
Only that he has a loaded gun under his ball sack. Thank you for clarifying. So yeah, this is
You
one
know,
of those before pre-internet training, right? Before YouTube kicks off and people can just see that it's BS. All of that for the low price. $450 at the low end, $850 at the high end. 3-day in Logan, Utah. Actually, Lance, I have a proposition for you.
Hey Lance, let's go there. Let's
We
go
are
on a
going
comp gear to this.
and just do
This
it
is
normally.
September.
Just do it normally. Ignore the instructors at
Just-
every turn and do it faster and more accurate than everybody else, and just ignore them the entire time.
That would be funny.
And then keep backing up and keep backing up and keep doing it. Just
No, I think
No,
you
you
should
can actually
lean
shoot
over I think you should lean over, like hunch, and extend your arms out, and do like the
Oh, do
tactical
the
turtle
tactical
thing,
turtle? Do that
and
nonsense?
see how close you can actually get to the target itself.
No, you got to
He's
do the
literally
slab.
muzzle blasting the gun.
You got to talk to him about the slab combat stance, which is 2 hands but above the head like a turtle, like leaning over, or like the ballerina stance where you're pirouetting and you're like shooting it or something. You do all sorts of funny stuff. These
Oh,
are
gosh.
advanced level techniques. These are
Very
third truth level
advanced.
Very
techniques.
serious. Very serious.
Really expensive targets that are $150 each. I have one. It lasted for 6 to 8 months or so, and it's basically completely torn up now. I think they rated at like 10,000 rounds, something stupid. It's a lot of rounds. 110 rounds per square inch. So 7,000 rounds. That is the total round count of a target, which is actually not a good value proposition
No.
because you can get several hundred.
Buy steel.
Well, steel's one, but even steel 7 to 10,000 rounds, depending on what you're shooting at, it might be fine. But let's just talk about paper. So paper, you can usually get somewhere between 30 and 40 paper targets per $50, or maybe even better in some circumstances. So let's say $1 per target for paper, which you can probably shoot it 100 times with pasters and be fine.
Easy.
So, and I shoot more than that. I shoot my targets a lot before I replace them. Just because they end up being like 90% pasters before I end up replacing them. But yeah, so they say about 7,000 rounds of 5.56, as Randy points out, 9mm, because it's bigger will degrade it faster. So your cheaper ammo actually makes the targets more expensive. So I have one, and I ruined it in probably about that 5,000 to 7,000 round mark, something in there, because I shot it with everything straight for about 6 months or so. It's just one of the targets in rotation, but it was the main target in rotation. So it is durable, but I just don't think it's a good value outside of really rainy conditions where you want to leave your target up. But also, to be clear, that $150 does not factor in paint, because the way that you cover up so that you can keep accountable with your hits is normally like I don't have any pasters with me. They're behind me in a box, but like you can get a roll of 3,000 pasters for not much.
$5.
They're very, very cheap. Like we're talking decimal percentages of pennies per paster. It's nothing. But
you don't need a fancy paster gun for it either. You can just
no. I just
basically can use rolls of brown masking tape even.
So these are pretty expensive targets. They look cool. Okay. It is neat.
Super cool.
Yeah.
But good lord, you have to spend a lot of money.
Let's go on Instagram.
In the 6 months I had the target, I probably went through 3 or 4 cans of paint. I might have even used it slightly longer than 6 months, but to keep it clean, you have to use a lot of paint. And
those are like what, $10-15 each?
About $7 a can.
I go to Walmart. You can get them for about $5 a can for like a generic white. But still, so let's say overall through the course of its life, it's nearly $200, right? And you get
Buy
about
a lot of paper targets for that.
Yeah. Well, so I bought a pack of 40 cardboard IPSC targets for $60, about $1.50 per, right? And that's gonna last me. Geez, okay, if we say 100 rounds per, that's 40,000 rounds. Right, but it's going to last me way more than that. Sorry. 300. So it's going to last me about double as long for a third of the cost. It's going to last me about 12,000 rounds for $50 or $60 rather than 200. So I don't think it's a good value compared to paper or cardboard. It looks cool, and it's also weatherproof, so you could leave it out if you never want to take down your targets, which maybe that's a benefit to you if you never want to staple a target up every time you go out. So, I mean, there's like a couple things that might be interesting, but other than that, really not that cool. I mean, I would not buy, because to have a real setup for this to train with, you would probably need 4 or 5, which is pushing a lot of money. It's pushing a lot of money for your targets.
Yeah. Right. On Shooter's Connection, you can get 100 official USPSA targets for $70.
Yep.
Not counting shipping, obviously, but
that's cheaper. That's cheaper than what I've spent, because I think I spent 60 on 40 or 50 on 40 or something like that. So
yeah, that's a lot. And IPSC targets are like hexagonal, not hexagonal ones, but
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. USPSA style targets. You know what I mean.
I do want to say that if you guys are using a lot of spray paint for steel, or if you do have one of these type of targets, if you have, look around in your local area, see if you have something called Ollie's Bargain Barn or Bargain Outlet. They have cans of spray paint for $1 to $3 regularly. I do a lot of painting, and I buy a lot of paint there for really, really cheap. Like really cheap. I get 5 gallons of base white for like $40.
Weekend Gunner says $150 is robbery. It's pretty expensive, and I mean
Speaking
$150. Oh,
check out his
look at
shirts.
that! He's got his what pattern is that you got there?
This is the DNC, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Heck yeah. He's got his
I'm still waiting
sweatshirts
to
on
order
there,
mine.
but yeah. So cardboard and paper, way better value. But they did. I like how on their website actually they say, as seen in Garand Thumb's The Mandalorian's Disruptor's Rifle. And Micah Mayfield featuring administrative results. It's like they're making
It
money
was used in a YouTube
because
video.
they're making money because of how much money they spend, because that those ad spots are not cheap. I mean, we're talking 10, 20, 30 grand for those. So they're clearing money on these things. Clearing money. So thank you, Infinite Defense, for your expensive targets and your wacky training style. We appreciate it.